it in life. Say hi, guys. Introduce yourself.
Hi guys, it is me and me only, Vibes of Lily, and I will be reading my book.
It's been a while. Explain
It's
your.
been a while. I've been posting, but sorry for not posting lately. I have been so busy, and we're gonna be reading this book. It's called Eyewitness. If you can't see it. Let me
Okay.
just read the blurb so you can know a little bit about what's going on. Cousin Carmine is about as awful as a cousin can be. Valerie Delamere has decided that Carmine is a snob and spends all her time trying to avoid her. Then an amazing discovery makes Valerie a eyewitness to a crime, one that will have a lasting effect.
Mhm.
That will have a lasting effect on cousin Carmine.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's the blurb. I'm gonna start reading now.
I'll turn this down.
Valerie! Immediately, Valerie Delamere. I'm just gonna call her Valerie because I don't want to say the last name. Valerie recognized the tone of her cousin Carmine's voice. It meant she had to do some boring activity that Carmine found interesting. Ever since arriving at Rue de Ionion, Valerie had been at mercy of her awful older cousin. Carmine seemed to think just because it was her house, it was her duty to fill every hour of Valerie's day doing absolutely everything that Valerie didn't want to do. Why had she chosen French as a subject at school?
Please double tap the
At
screen,
first, it
guys.
seemed like a good idea,
Mhm.
and she thought of a holiday in
Hi, what's
Paris.
entertainment? Can you double tap the
Staying
screen?
with her cousin she had never met seemed exciting at the time. But Valerie had quickly discovered that cousin Carmine was about as awful as anyone could possibly be. She was a snob. Mom, what does snob mean?
Snob.
Yeah.
She was being like grumpy person. Mhm. Go on.
She made Valerie read a long, boring books written in French,
Okay.
and then ask questions afterwards to test if she really had been concentrating. It was worse than school. Carmine dragged Valerie to smelly blue cheese shops. She only ever bought the stinkiest, runniest blue cheeses she could ever find, making Valerie eat them on dry crackers.
Mhm.
Carmine hardly ate anything. She was always too busy talking about how horrible it must to live in any place other than France, which had the best food in the world.
Mm.
Carmine said the only color to wear in Paris was dark purple, and criticized Valerie's cheerfully colored clothes. That isn't true, but whenever Valerie offered her opinion, her cousin had the habit of lifting her nose to the ceiling as if there was a very bad smell
Mm-hmm.
wafting in the air. Valerie! Screeched Carmine once more. The tone of her voice was becoming higher and higher.
Mm-hmm.
Valerie noted.
Whose tone of their voice is getting higher and higher?
Her.
Who's she?
She's her
Valerie?
cousin. No, this is Valerie.
Okay.
This is cousin Carmine.
Okay.
Screeched Carmine once more. The tone of her voice was becoming higher and higher. Valerie noted with interest, as if she waited long enough, perhaps Carmine would start squealing like a whistling kettle. Finally, Valerie decided it would be wise to answer her cousin. There was no telling about what boring activity she could think up as a revenge on her as she disobeyed. She sighed of the thought. I'm up here, Carmine. Come down here, Valerie shouted. Wait, let me do that now. Come down here, Valerie shouted her cousin. I've decided to teach you a little more about how much culture we have in France. Valerie shuddered. She had no idea how someone possibly so awful could possibly be related to her own family. Carmine was unbearable. She was a snob for Valerie. Reluctantly, she trudged down the long, curving staircase that led to the ground floor of the house.
Mm-hmm.
Carmine, dressed in a straight, dark purple dress, stood there waiting for her at the bottom of the stairs. Here in France, began cousin Carmine, with an air of someone who knew almost everything. We have so much culture than anyone else. We have more music, more books, more art.
Can you double tap the screen for us, please?
Carmine tapped a suspiciously large book she had placed on the hallway table. And it is all in here. I'm sure you will enjoy reading it. Carmine pointed her nose to the ceiling, smiled in a thin smile, and swept off to the sitting room beside the hallway that she used as her study. Valerie had only been inside her cousin's study once. The only thing she found interesting was a rather expensive-looking painting hanging behind Carmine's desk. It showed a family sitting under a large umbrella beside a pretty stream. It's a painting by the great French artist Le Bequeatz. Carmine had sniffed proudly. It was given to my great-great-grandfather by the artist. It's probably worth 1,000,000 francs.
1,000,000 francs?
I think it's called euros.
So far, can you summarize that, what you just read? Everything was Valerie and what?
My eyes are kind of burning a bit. So basically, Valerie is a young girl who has a very, very unkind cousin that forces her to do work when she's on holiday.
Oh.
And holiday is a time where you're not supposed to do work. Valerie couldn't wait to leave Carmine's study. In the gloomy room, she had seen a couple of other portraits of people. In both pictures, The people wore severe, bad-tempered expressions of people. The one of a man reminding Valerie of a pigeon, and the woman Valerie decided looked just like Carmine.
Thanks for the light.
There was something about the way she had her nose pointed to the ceiling.
Thank you. Who's that? What's her face? She look grumpy like.
True. Valerie picked up the book that Carmine had left on the hallway and instantly put it down. It felt far too heavy to enjoy. Instead, she decided to go for a walk. She needed to get out of this house and away from her snobby cousin. Let me drink some water.
Okay.
Just a little water break.
Why was I called a Jamaica Queen? Just sweetie pie. Alright, finish going.
Okay. Think I can
Thank you,
start reading
Jamaica sweetie
again.
pie. Make you see when I get 50 soon start, I can go look live. Put up some more, put up your shots every day. Every day put up shots. Any little thing we do. Go. Sorry.
Okay. Valerie had discovered a little hot chocolate shop around the corner and had made friends with Pierre, the old man who made the steaming hot chocolate and served the customers. Pierre had seen her taking photographs of the street, and Valerie had been
Even for
delighted
two.
to find
Every time they come by live, you
to
get
find
some. Maggie and Lily too.
Valerie had been delighted to find he shared her interests in cameras and photography. He had been one of the nicer people that she had met during her time in Paris. A few minutes later, she was seated at a table inside a hot chocolate shop.
What? I love chocolate. You're welcome.
Pierre had said that his building, which was filled with interesting old antiques, had once been a candy shop. Valerie liked to call it the museum. La Musée.
That's French.
Yeah.
La Musée.
Chocolate Pierre. I suppose you're right. Aged chocolate tins, the shelves. Of course, a collection of aged chocolate tins lined the shelves, and of course, a collection of old cameras stood in a row of the high shelf behind the counter. Pierre had collected antique cameras since he was a boy. It was his favorite hobby, he had explained. Several ancient-looking dolls sat sprawled beside the gleaming hot chocolate machine. Let's see if you can find them. I think these are it. I think these are the dolls, if you can see. It's in the corner. They don't show us it.
Mm-hmm.
A pair of rusty old swords hung on one
Hung cross.
hung crossed on one wall. So it's basically, imagine my two fingers are the swords, and this is, yeah. Next to the two swords,
Lean back.
next to swords, next to her name, so next to swords was an old fading poster of Paris from the 19th century, which showed a young Parisian, that's what it's called, Parisian woman wearing ornate, frilly clothes.
Killer accent.
This is That's cool. Valerie loved to spend time in Pierre's fascinating shop. If it was antique, ancient, or merrily old, you could find it decorating the interior of Pierre's hot chocolate shop. Bonjour, mademoiselle.
Yes, say it quick now.
Mademoiselle.
Yes.
Oh.
Bonjour, mademoiselle.
Bonjour, mademoiselle. Said Pierre with a smile. Hello.
Replied, you must talk like the different people, right? Good. Sound like
hello. Replied Valerie. How is that cousin of yours? Wait. How is that cousin of yours? Asked the old man as he poured Valerie a delicious hot chocolate. Valerie had spent ages telling him about the awful cousin Carmine. Don't ask, she replied, rolling her eyes.
roll her eyes and show them.
That's how you roll your eyes.
Yeah, but don't ask. Say it as well.
Don't ask. Yeah, that's how you do it. Don't ask. Yeah. Ooh la la. Ooh la la, sang Pierre. So, how is your photography going then? Have you taken any more photographs of our beautiful city? Valerie nodded and started to tell the old man of what she had seen and photographed since she had last been in his shop. Even with her dreadful cousin Carmine living in it, Paris was still a very beautiful city, perfect for taking photos.
Paris. Have you ever been to Paris?
I want to go to Paris though. A fascinating. Where's the back of her head though? When Valerie returned to the house, she realized that she should have lunch with her hot chocolate because now she was quite hungry. She wondered if there was anything in the refrigerator to eat any other than the awful blue cheese and crackers that Carmine seemed to live off. I didn't know I thought I was the only person who ate crackers.
But
dry.
Their crackers is like thin, I think what they like maybe. Okay. You're careful.
That Carmine seemed to live off. Careful to not disturb her cousin, she opened the door and crept backwards into the lounge, making her way into the kitchen.
Quietly. Lounge quietly.
crept back quietly, making her way to the kitchen. But as she turned her head towards the next room, she found herself staring into Carmine's eyes. Her nose was, as always, heading for the ceiling. Don't know why her nose. We can see inside her nose. I mean, guys, this is her. Look at her. Look.
But just
But her eyes were peering down. This is her. Yeah. Peering down at Valerie.
Angela. Yeah.
She held out a plate of the dreaded cheese and crackers. Hungry? Me too. Here, have one of these. We do have the finest blue cheese. We do have the finest blue cheese in the whole world, you know. Started Valerie, backing up against the door, trying to move away from the smell. And oh, you forgot this, added Carmine sourly. She held out the book that she had left for Valerie. Let me read a bit louder. Oh, you forgot this. Aww.
Just read. Did I not go on live? Read. You soon finish anyway.
Started Valerie. Oh, and you forgot this, added Carmine sourly. She held out the book that she had left for Valerie to read. Thanks. Thanks, stammered Valerie, grabbing the book. She raced down the lounge and headed upstairs. Blast, she thought. As she sat on her bed, staring at the book, she had no desire to read about the French culture, so she decided the book would have to disappear. Valerie opened up the wardrobe in her room and peered up at the top shelf. It was cluttered with all sorts of old clothes, packages and boxes. Perfect, thought Valerie. Right at the back, where no one would be able to find this boring book again. She reached up to a clear space. A faded, torn piece of brown wrapping paper and a tangled piece of string fell down from the shelf. Valerie shoved the book right at the back and picked up the piece of paper to cover it so it would be hidden. Then she stopped. She looked more closely at the wrapping paper and noticed a tiny label written in spidery handwriting. Where had she seen that name before? She wondered. Master. Master Viron Darmir. Wait. Cousin Carmine. So what is her last name again? Valerie. It said a last name.
Just go on.
I think Delamere. I think that's the last name. 12 Rue de l'Onion, Paris, France. Suddenly, she remembered. Vernon Delamere, she said in amazement. That was my great-grandfather's name. So he must have been
So her great grandfather. Mm-hmm. So it was her mother or her father, dad. Mm-hmm. But why was
a parcel addressed to her great grandfather hidden in the depths of a wardrobe at 12 Rue de Lyon? Valerie pulled a chair over to the wardrobe and stood on it. Carefully, she peered into the messy wardrobe. There's a camera.
Mm-hmm.
There were some other scraps of wrapping paper attached to it. There was a yellow cardboard box. Gingerly,
God bless you. You're feeling good. Go and read it.
Gingerly, she reached out and pulled the box towards herself. Clutching the box, she jumped off the chair and hurried over to the bed. Slowly, she lifted off the lid. Wow! Wow! Whispered Valerie. Nestled before her lay a shiny antique camera, all black and chrome, and probably full of mystery, she thought. Besides it lay 5 rolls of film, tightly packaged in thick, dark paper. Double wow, said Valerie. She picked up the camera and turned it over in her hands. It must have been 100 years old, but it looked like it had hardly been used. Valerie knew at once she would just have to show her fascinating discovery to her friend Pierre, but he would know all about this type of camera. Maybe it still worked. Pierre could show her how to take photographs with it. She could hardly wait. Then she stopped. Would that be stealing? After all, a
few more minutes.
After all, the camera did belong to Carmine's family. Then she thought again. I'm family. Besides, if her great-grandfather's name on it, then it really should be hers. Valerie nodded to herself. Yes, she would show the camera to Pierre. She checked her watch. There was still time to sneak out of the house before Pierre closed his shop. Silently, she tiptoed downstairs. Carefully, she tiptoed downstairs. Carefully, Valerie listened for any sounds of movements from the sitting room next to the hall. She was alarmed when she heard. She was alarmed what she thought She was alarmed when she had what she thought was her cousin Carmine choking. Maybe she's got a blue cheese cracker caught in her throat, thought Valerie gleefully. Debating whether to go and rescue her, Valerie realized that the sounds were really sleepy snores drifting from somewhere inside the sitting room. She grinned silently and turned the doorknob of the front door. When Valerie reached the hot chocolate shop, Pierre was sweeping the footpath outside his doorway. Pierre! Called Valerie. Come and look at this! Inside the shop, Pierre and Valerie sat down. Ooh la la. Why is Pierre always saying ooh la la?
That's his saying.
whistled Pierre when Valerie showed him what was inside of her bag. He carefully lifted the camera from her bag and stared through the eyepiece. It's perfect in condition, he said, admiring the antique camera. He pointed the lens at Valerie and pressed a tiny silver button. Click! It still works perfectly too. Pierre turned the camera over and stared into a tiny red hole in the black leather side. Goodness! He said with a look of surprise. What is it? It still has film in it, he said, showing Valerie the camera. Imagine what could be on this film. This is a most interesting discovery, Valerie. How can Valerie started questioning Pierre? How can we find out who can develop the pictures? Will they still be okay after all these years? Pierre smiled as he examined the camera. I have a friend, Monsieur Lenoir, who has a dark room. I'll ask him if we can still develop the photos. For the first time since visiting Paris, Valerie felt really excited. Of course the photos could be ruined. Don't get your hopes up too high. After 100 years? Who knows? Valerie shrugged his shoulders and smiled at Pierre. If you let me keep the camera tonight, I will see Monsieur Lenoir and ask him if he can help us. Valerie thanked Pierre and nodded enthusiastically. This was exciting. For the whole of the next hour, the two friends sat chatting in the hot chocolate shop. Valerie had completely forgotten about her awful cousin Carmine. This is the last page, yeah? This one. 6 old photographs. Valerie could hardly wait to sneak out of the house at 12 Rue de Lenian at the next morning. While cousin Carmine was in her study listening to some frightful shrieking, which was her favorite Oprah recording, Valerie crept out the front door. A few minutes later, she arrived at Pierre's hot chocolate shop and found him talking to a cheerful-looking man, clutching a large envelope.
That's it. Till tomorrow. So I'll speak to you. Fine. Thank you.
So let's talk. So everyone,
thank you.
Thank you for
Yes. Thank them for listening.
Thank you for listening. And thank you for commenting. And thank you for everything. So yes, I will do a live tomorrow.
I need a thing to write this.
And
today is what date? So I need to ask you. I know the date. I'm just talking out aloud. Tips for readers. Here are some tips.
There's a person at your door.
So, where's the book? You have to carry the book tomorrow. Where are you putting it there? Now something to... Yeah, I have to ask you. Where's the pen? So, I've got one here. Can't really write properly.
I'm so tired.
Fix yourself and get up. Right, so Alicia was just reading her book today. Now she's done. Today's what date? The 6th. You leave the book over the weekend.
Oh, finally.
The 6th of
Peace.
what date? The 10th. 25. What's the name of the book? Eyewitness. Eyewitness. Talk to them.
You don't need to write the name of the book.
You're supposed to write the name of the book you're reading. Right, so Alicia Lee, talk to people.
So guys, I will be
You can have to. We are traveling for where?
So I will be
Reading from a few nights.
Reading?
Yeah, that's
for a
what
few nights, and I'm gonna post a edit today, and I might
Not
post a
today.
video.
And I ran nothing today. Went to your bed now. Actually,
It's not even 8 o'clock.
It's 8:30 something.
8:30.
Actually, read to all of us.
But yeah.
We'll finish the story tomorrow, yeah?
Okay. I believe in future. I can tell.
Nice.
Uncle Hero.
Talk to him. So how is school going on so far since year 4? How is it going on so
It's
far?
alright.
Good.
So I can read the future.
That's it. Alright, we'll end the live.
I can read
Foolishness.
the future.
So just say good night.
Good night.
Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. So we are finished reading. I hope you have a
Sleep
good
tight
night
and
for the
don't
rest.
let the bed bugs bite.
Yeah. And you've been, so what do you have to tell them? For the rest of it, to be safe.
Be safe, and especially keep inner beauty in your prayers, and yeah.
Oh, Inner Beauty. Oh yes, keep Inner Beauty in my prayers. Her husband is in the hospital.
Yeah.
Just another content creator that we know on my channel.
She's a content creator.
Yeah.
Oh.
And you know, so Alicia is just building her channel for other kids her age
I have
and stuff like that.
guys, thank you. Wait.
Just left the camera.
Guys, thank you for the 250 subscribers. We are building to 300. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you for all the support. And thank you.
I hope you have a good night.
I hope you have a good rest of your day, your afternoon, the night, and the rest of a good morning.
Yes, because some places it's morning now, some places nighttime now, like here, some places even, some places afternoon. So Jamaica is evening. I think we're in evening now. Yes. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a good night.
I think it'd be early, a really early morning in Jamaica.
Yeah. See your fingernail. We're gonna cut these fingernails. Yes, so bye guys. End your live, Lily. Please remember to like
and subscribe.
like, share,
And
and
subscribe.
sub.
Like, share, and subscribe, and yeah, peace.
Peace out.
And hype up my videos.
Take it off. You
Peace.
can't do it under.
3,
You can't do
2,
that.
1. Peace out.
You can't do that. You have
Why?
to end it like that. You can't put your hand on the face while you're touching it at the same time.